their qualifier win over Limerick. So they start here once again with Andy Fahy between the posts, who replaces Pa Kelly, the latter ruled out because of an ankle injury. He plays behind a full back line. I beg your pardon, we're going to go with Galway first. So Galway start with Colm Calden in goal, playing in his third All-Ireland quarter-final. And then fronting him is a full back line with John Hanbury once again donning the number 3 jersey. However, in the Leinster final, for tactical reasons, he switched with Dáithí Burke and played half-back. On paper, at least, the Turlough player will have Gearóid McInerney on one flank, and he'll also have Aidan Hart in this line there at left half-back. Now there's change in the centre of the field, where team captain David Burke now lines up alongside a rookie, Adrian Tuohy, making his championship debut. The half-forward line contributed 2 goals and 32 points between them in the Leinster Championship, with Joe Canning hitting 20 points, 5 of those coming from open play. And in the inside line, a return to Semple Stadium for Conor Whelan, also a start today for Jason Flynn, and Cathal Mannion has scored 5 points against Kilkenny at the start of the month. So, Clare, as we were mentioning just a moment or two ago, will start in goal with Andy Fahy. He replaces Pa Kelly there this season. And he's going to play behind a full back line, where Cian Dillon has been the most dominant figure, enjoying the role of covering defenders, something that many have tried to emulate, but few have succeeded. In the half back line, David McInerney has been a major success in the number 6 jersey. The switch from full back has enabled Clare to benefit from his considerable range of talents. The highly adaptable Conor Cleary and David Reedy share centre field responsibilities. Both have shown very good form this season. And just ahead of them, players who performed heroically in the All-Ireland winning year, including Tony Kelly, score of 9 points here in the last qualifying round, and that of course was against Limerick. The busy Podge Collins is included again after his exploits with the football squad yesterday, and it's a first quarter-final for the very promising Aaron Shanaher at left corner forward. Well, those are the players scheduled to side, now managed of course by Micheál Donoghue. So let's get the very latest from the respective management teams.
Micheál, you come into this one on the back of a defeat and a lot of criticism, not least from Ger Loughnane. How have you digested all that in the Galway camp?
Look, I think, obviously we're very disappointed to have lost the Leinster final, but we knew after that, that 3 weeks was coming, and we had another bite getting into the All-Ireland quarter-final. So in fairness, the lads have knuckled down really hard the last 3 weeks, and we're really looking forward to today.
In terms of the criticism, do you let it get to you, or do you use it as motivation? What do you do with it?
Look, there's always going to be, whether you win or lose, there's always going to be a bit of flack, and look, we don't take much notice of it. All we do is concentrate what's within the 4 walls of our own dressing room and our own camp, and that's what we're concerned about.
Donald, firstly, I suppose everybody wants to know how Davy is. Yeah,
Davy's with us, well documented what he went through this week. It's a great boost for everybody that he's here with us, and I think an important thing to say is on behalf of everybody in the setup to thank people for the sincere good wishes that have come towards Davy this week.
Will he be on the sideline?
He will indeed.
And what advice has he been given? We know he's famous for his passion. Has he been told to take it easy?
Yeah, look, I think a competitive man like Davy is probably at his best and at his most comfortable in a stadium like this. And he's an experienced, resilient man, and I think that's what we'll see from him today.
Has it all affected your preparations?
I don't think so. I think we're here to win the game. This is an All-Ireland quarter-final. I think that's what the focus of everybody is. We're under no illusions in terms of the challenge that faces us in terms of Galway today. For a lot of the Leinster final, they gave an outstanding performance, and I'm sure they'll come out with a point to prove today. So we need to be at our best to counter that.
And how is Podge Collins? Of course, he was involved in a very historic day yesterday.
He's good. He's looking forward to it. It's a great achievement by himself and the footballers, and but very much his focus is with us here today.
Donoghue, what do Galway need to do in this match today to satisfy you?
Well, to lose the game.
It's a very hard question.
There's a curveball.
Well, catch that now, John.
Yeah. But I suppose what they have to do to win, Michael, is to get the ball in the air as much as possible, because they are very strong in the air. They are physically more powerful than Clare. So if they keep the game very, very tight, and don't allow Clare to use the open spaces, which Thurles is famous for that, then they have a great chance of beating Clare. And the big, bringing on Jason Flynn there in the forwards, I'd regard him as being very, very dangerous. I think that's a great move. I think that's, his speed, and when we're looking at it a bit later on, he'll be central to stopping Clare from taking those short puck out. So, their forwards are very, very dangerous. It could be a high-scoring game here. their back's a bit suspect, but, you know, overall, I would think that, you know, if Clare can get the energy back that they had early on, especially against Kilkenny in the league semi-final, in the league final, if they can get back to that, then they have a great chance of winning.
You mentioned it yourself there just a moment ago, the Clare puck-outs and how important this is to their game.
Mannion getting this one under control. 2 men in hot pursuit. 20 metres out, and then he made a mess of it completely, trying to hand pass it inside, and Brendan Bugler got there instead for Clare and gets it out as far as Colin Galvin, and Galvin relieves that pressure with a huge one down. It's 3 against 4 in there. Galway have the extra man, and in the end the referee sees a push in there on Ari. Unfortunately, Conor McGrath, he is one of the big losses, I think. Tony Kelly then taking over the free-taking responsibilities. 22 metres out. No problems whatsoever for him. They go chasing after it. David Burke in there, leaves it behind. Cian Dillon, I wonder what kind of pressure will be applied on him, because he had the freedom of the park against Limerick. This one is David Burke's once again. Recycling this one back towards Johnny Cohen. New position for Johnny. Second time he's taken a shot on the target, and this one he finds the range perfectly and puts it over the bar. Point apiece in the early stages of this All-Ireland quarter-final.
Yeah, good pressure down the corner. David Burke looked out the field, and Johnny Cohen just shows that the type of complete hurler he is. He's much happier, I'd say, today out the field. Himself and David really two very...
By Cohen, knocking it down as far as Joseph Cooney. Cooney goes off, Reedy's after him. Can't catch him. Lovely shot. Great score. Joseph Cooney. Well, he was taken off in Wexford. Joe Canning then will try and put this one over. It's swaying, however, and going away left, and that's a pitch. The lead then, giving himself every opportunity, and the care was well worth. So a chance to put just a point between the teams, very much at the settling down stage of this quarter-final. Winners to play Tipperary, high and accurately over. Held on to somehow here by Tony Kelly, on a ground where he starred in the league final replay, starred on so many grounds. Inside as far as Shedadon. Quick hands, great hands. Colin Galvin onto it. Challenged there by Johnny Cohen. Makes an angle for himself and puts it beautifully over. That's Colin Galvin at his best. Clare moving the ball smartly, doing the positive things well.
Yeah, there are 3 of their key players there. Tony Kelly, Colin Galvin and Shane O'Donnell involved. Lovely hand pass to Galvin. Great run, great athlete, and he puts it over the bar. Super score.
3 apiece. Settling down nicely. Inside towards Joe Canning once again. Down he goes. So 1 point already here. And a second pointed free makes it Galway.
Right side, that's some skill.
Now let's see if he can make it. It's moving away to the right-hand side, and he has missed.
Very small chance of scoring that. He really should have crossed it.
Andy Fahy's puck out. Way up towards that half-forward line, but dominant play there by Galway. Back into the counter-attack once again. Cooney once more, he's missed the last one. Here's an opportunity for him, and he's got it! Opening goal! 15 minutes in, 6th ever goal for Conor Cooney, and Galway lead by 1-4 to 3 points.
Yeah, well, a great catch by Joe Canning in the middle of the field, caught the puck out, delivered the ball first time in, and you know, it's the kind of hurling that we're talking about. Fast ball inside, broke to Conor Cooney, and a lovely finish into the corner of the net.
Will the goalkeeper think he should have covered this, do you think?
Yeah, well, normally you're near post, you know, you'd be saying you should cover it, but it was a nice low shot and he stuck it into the corner.
Well, it's a great boost for the tribesmen. Galvin hitting this, and that's a beauty. Good response. Second point an hour ago. So Joe Canning with 2 pointed frees earlier on decides to bring it in as far as Joe Cooney this time. Better angle for Joe, and Joseph Cooney knocks it over the bar. This is a very good spell for Galway. Worrying times for Clare.
Yeah, and I'd say this is the most improved hurler in the championship this year. Joseph Cooney struggled for a few years to make his mark on the Galway team, but outside of the last day against Kilkenny, he didn't have a great game. Outside of that, he's been very good this year, and that's showed great agility there.
A change very, very shortly for Clare, by the way. I've noticed that they are preparing big David Fitzgerald to come on. He's a half-back, as we know. Meanwhile, Joe Canning trying to add to the 2 points he's already scored. Make it 3. And now it's the path of David Reedy. Oh, the challenge was high, neck high. In his stride here and knocking it wide. Missed opportunity, that's 3 by Daithí Burke. Imperious in the air in that Galway area, but then he does too much with it. carries it too far. In the end, however, Jason Flynn just might be able to make something of it, or maybe Cathal Mannion. Mannion goes, after him goes Conor Cleary. Hand passing inside here to a support player, David Burke, waiting for it, and that one has gone beautifully over the bar. Great point from a huge distance out by David Burke, the St. Thomas's man.
Yeah, there was a great out saying one time he'd hit a ball in the wardrobe, and you saw how quick he hit that. There was absolutely no room to swing the hurl. He got it away in a great.
Of two supporting players, one of them is David Reedy, and there's another man outside him here, and that is Jack Brown.
It's for Conor Whelan and Cathal Mannion, but Clare not managing it so far.
An important free, and this one is on term. Tony Kelly has got 3-pointed frees. He's going to consider every scoring opportunity as being absolutely vital. 3-pointed frees so far. This is first 65. From a good central position, should be able to put it over the bar. And he is. 1-8 bonding match against Cork last year. Canning taking his time. Breeze blowing from left to right. Ooh, off the post and over. Just even though he's done it so many times at this level, the pressure is still on. Only 27. And he's equal to that pressure time and again. IT student. O'Brien has it again. Little hand pass forward. And away this time comes Tony Kelly. 3-pointed frees in the first half already. And he finishes the half with a point from play. 4 for Tony Kelly. Another one for Clare. And now it's 110 to 6 points. And that will energise them greatly and give them a big lift as they head in towards half-time.
Yeah, great work there.
Assessment of what we've seen so far in that first half?
Yeah, Galway are full value for a 7-point lead. You know, they've been much the better team in that first half. They'll be very happy. Micheál Donoghue will be very happy with that performance. I think they've pushed up on Clare, and you know, they've packed that area, and their forwards are working very, very hard, and they're reaping the rewards of that. I think likewise in defence, they're back so well on top. The high Burke going back in has really steadied the ship back in there. But Clare have made it easy for them because they've just withdrawn everyone. You know, they've made it very, very easy for them. So I mean, for a team of Clare, of the calibre of Clare, to have 6 points on the board, I know I appreciate there's a small breach there. 6 points is a very, very poor return for that team. So I'm sure harsh words will be said at half time because yet again, you know, we sat here after the Munster semi-final, a lethargic first half. Yeah. We've had another lethargic first half in this squad, and simply not good enough, and they're in danger of going out of this championship.
Sure. And from a Galway point of view, though, Cyril, the question would be 7-point lead, but is it enough?
Just about, like, they'll be happy enough. As Liam said, they've shoved up on Andrew Fahey's puck out. That meant he has to go long, and then it's a fight for it. And Galway are good under the high ball. Now they've extra backs back there because Clare pushing back this side, and they've picked off lovely points, lovely scores, and like they're well on top. But 7 points might be just enough. Again, against the breeze, now you're going to find Galway will fall back a bit. Clare will have extra backs. They'll push up, and you'll find, like, you know, if Clare get a goal, it'll be anyone's game.
Sure. But
Galway are full value for the 7 points at the moment.
Gerald Nan, you confident enough still, or are you starting to worry?
Well, I'm very worried because of the fact that before the game there was so much talk about this game being so important, and it's just so lifeless. You know, Clare, Liam rightly points out, Clare are playing the very same way as they played against Limerick. You know, they haven't raised the tempo of the game, the energy isn't there that we've seen before from them, and there's no creativity at all up front. Now it's very, very hard for one player inside in his own being crowded out by 3. So, you know, they're going to have to change their tactics, number one, in the first half. They're going to have to put John Conlon into that full forward line with Shanahan inside and hope that O'Donnell will come on to the break because they do need a goal. Now, poor and all as they have played, Galway, Clare are very lucky that Galway are at least 10 or 12 points ahead. So the game is still alive for Clare. But in order for them to take advantage of that, they need to get scores on the board and get them early in that second half.
They do. Clare probably needed a goal in that first half for a finish-up, Cyril. But of course, it was Galway that actually got it.
Yeah, and again, you see the clip here. It's a long poke out, and I think it's Joe Cannon clips onto this ball. Now, they're all under the ball. It could break anyway.
They're out of the championship.
All right, in fact, we are all set to go then for this second half. So let's return to the commentary box, to Ger Canning and Michael Duignan.
Thank you, Michael. Yes, ready to start the second half of the 15th ever championship meeting of Clare and Galway. Clare unchanged, Galway unchanged, as you were going in at half time, and the referee has decided he's going to have to throw it in a second time. Referee Brian Gavin. Away they go, second time of asking. Johnny Cohen has remained in midfield. Here he goes. Made a bright start to the opening half. Supported here by Burke. David Burke outside to Joe Canning. What a start this is! 22 seconds.
Well, Gerard,
Canning.
sorry, Gerard, that's an absolutely brilliant goal. Just watch straight from the throw in here. Johnny Cohen breaks onto the ball and David Burke sprints beside him. He spots him, throws a little hand pass to him, and David Burke broke the tackle, could have put it over the bar, but the vision again to throw it over to Joe Cannon. What a first touch. A brilliant goal.
Well, it's the 25th time he's ever scored in the championship. What a time to do it. And now, what a task facing Clare at this stage. 2-10 to 6 points down. Kelly to try and eat into that. He's done so. An important free on him. He's 50 metres out from the target, but a nice central position. 2 in a row. Can Clare come back? Podge Collins couldn't quite get around Toohey that time. On it goes as far as Colin Galvin, however, pursued by Joseph Cooney. And now the goal that they conceded early on, they managed to get that back almost immediately. 2-pointed freeze and a point by Colin Galvin. It's as you were at the break.
Yeah, great piece of skill there by Tony Kelly. You know, just right on the sideline, threw a ball into the on-running Colin Galvin. He scores his third
points for Canning so far. I can tell you down the sideline they are preparing this time to bring on David Fitzgerald as Canning hits it over the bar. Another fine point for him.
Yeah, he's having a huge influence on the game. Jerry, his work rate is fantastic. You can see him back tackling, hooking, blocking, and David McNally ran straight into him there.
David Fitzgerald on, Brendan Bugler off. Michael was mentioning the couple of fouls there by Brendan Bugler, giving away frees, so he's been brought to the sideline. Down at the other end is Shanahan. Great stop. Goalkeeper got down very quickly. Colin Galvin got the stick in front of him and managed to parry it out for a 65. It was a real good opportunity for Aaron Shanahan.
Well, that's a brilliant catch and a brilliant low shot. That's a super save there by Colin Callan. Came off.
Because he's given it away to Conor Cleary. Had an easier pass to give. And Cleary drives it in long, too long. Nobody able to get to that. Not even Aller was one of them. But David Burke managed to get it back for Galway. Nicely into the path here of Pádraig Mannion. Up in the attack for once. Got 2 points against Offaly in the Leinster semi-final. Again, goes to ground. Clare wait for the ball to come out to them. 10 minutes into the Fitzgerald. It all went awry. And now it's Adrian Toohey struggling to get that ball up onto his stick. Clare managed to win it back. Feed it outside as far as Colin Galvin. Under pressure strikes it. Oh, brilliantly done. Almost intuitively knew exactly where the posts were. Got his 4th point. He's absolutely starring on a team already 7 points down. Can he give the leadership? Can he give them the lift to get back into this match?
Yeah, his relationship with Tony Kelly, you know, he reads him so well. When Kelly gets the ball, Galvin is always moving off the shoulder. He knows that Kelly has great vision, and that's another great score. 4 points from play now for him.
Hart's clearance. This time it is Conor Whelan out there to try and win it. Ball's gone out of play.
Burke involved in everything that's good for Galway. And Conor McGrath, look, he's the man, one man I suppose in the Clare squad that can really turn a game. You know, he can score a goal from absolutely nothing, and they'll really need it. And the only thing is, Aidan Hart is still sitting back in front of the full back line, and he's going to be hard to break down. He reads the game very, very well.
Again, it's Adrian Toohey soloing forward. Good vision there to pick out the support player, and that one has gone over the bar. Brilliantly done by Pádraig Mannion. His 4th point in this year's championship. Brilliantly done here. Normally it's his brother Cahill. Cahill hasn't scored today, but Pádraig has. 2-12 to 10 points. Short puck out to David Fitzgerald. And the under-21 leaves it off as far as Conor Cleary. Down towards the corner this time, towards Shanahan, trying to win it. Aidan Hart in there as well, showing a lot of interest. Picked up by John Conlon. Conlon surrounded by Galway players. They just can't escape the clutches of the tribesmen defenders this afternoon. They've been magnificent in defence. Had to be. Trying to poke this one forward here is Shane O'Donnell. O'Donnell's got it. And O'Donnell's won a free in. It'll be a free.
Just keep tipping away, but it's a reasonable chance.
Well, there's 5 in the goal area. Yeah, he's just going to tap it over. That's 7 points gone astray. And that is now 10 wides. 8 wides for Clare. They need scores. Maybe they'll get it here from Conor McGrath. And do. Well, it's one back. They're still in Conor. Hand passing it out as far as David Fitzgerald. Challenged by Joseph Cooney. Extra players for Clare here on this side. One of them, David McInerney from Tulla. And the umpires look at it and say, yes, great score. Wonderful score by David McInerney. Galway are convinced it was wide, but McInerney from that distance out, way back, inside his own 45-metre line when he struck that to make it 2-12 to 13 points.
Yeah, that's inspirational, you know, brilliant player.
It reaches Joe Canning again. A little bit of deception initially, now he takes off, two after him, support player outside, Cyril Donnellan, back onto the right, just wait for the cheer if he makes it. The umpires aren't sure, they're going to Hawkeye. Cyril Donnellan was
hailed away hugely at the end, when it was gone over, it swung right away from the goals, and the umpire looking up, and it's not easy to make the call, but thankfully the technology's got it right.
2 goals between them again, Michael. Oisin O'Brien, down here towards Conor McGrath, quick feet. Always quick feet. Keeps it away. What a score this will be. Quick reply. Wonderful play by McGrath. 2 since he came on. The man is an absolute wizard.
Yeah, brilliant play down the side. And we've just seen what we're missing. One of the best forwards in the game. A fantastic player. Huge loss to Clare today.
Virgil, who was captain of Galway when they won the Leinster Championship in 2012. Ryan hits. Needs to be on target, is on target. Another white flag. Now on Cian Dillon. Across comes Joseph Cooney. Setting it into David Burke. Fed back once more, this time to Mannion. And Cathal Mannion gets his first point of this quarter-final and stretches the lead out to 5 points once again, 2-14 to 15 points.
They're the hurling brain of David Burke again. Look what a pass. He thought he had a chance to go in.
Score of 1-7 so far. So another crucial free here now. 6 points would be a very nice margin heading into the home straight. Coming down, landing on the stick and over the bar. Went off the goalkeeper's stick, but it doesn't matter. But this is what it's all about, really, isn't it? The day of the championship, the day when you want your best performance. Colin Galvin blocked down well by Adrian Toohey. What a debut he's had. But Galvin goes again, second time of asking. The angle was very awkward, but he's landed it somehow. Oh, real wizardry by Colin Galvin, the Clonlara player. 5 points from open play.
He's just fantastic balance, and you just see the way he dodged around that tackle before lobbing it over the bar, and you know, probably the standout player one of the standout players on the field. Certainly Clare's standout player today, giving an exhibition of point scoring.
Andy Smith's come on, and a bit away in the end. Long delivery up as far as Davy Glennon, hand passed in as far as David Burke. Burke lets it off. That could be a winner. David Burke's second. Very much involved in the Joe Canning goal at the beginning of the second half, and now 6 points the margin again, and we're in the 68th minute, 2-16 to 16 points.
Yeah, arguably the score of the game. An absolutely brilliant point by David Burke. Great ball by David Glennon.
Knows that there's 6 adrift. There's 6 or 7 on the line. There's 2 more in front. Almost an impossible task for most players. Let's see what Kelly can do. They need a goal. He's gone for it. They've stopped it. And that ball is hit away by Joe Canning. Out here to a loose player. Waiting for it there was Andy Smith. Not a good ball from Smith, given away to Cian Dillon. And then slapped in by Colin Ryan into the mix and left and wide. McInerney's going. Boy, is he going. Hearts after him, he's lost it. Stepping in to try and win it, but handling it on the ground there was Gearóid McInerney. He's protesting. It's a free in. 6 points between them.
Yeah, put it over the bar, keep going. There's 5 minutes left.
That's all you can do. I mean, I know Tony Kelly had to go for that one because he didn't know how much time was going to be left at that stage, but this time Colin Ryan does. It's very poor. Easily taken by Adrian Toohey. Toohey tries to go off. Support player outside him, couldn't reach him. O'Donnell back there helping. David Burke now feeds it forward. The support player is Aidan Hart. He's meant to be the kind of extra covering defender at the other side. He'd love a score. He's scored so many in the past. He's got one here. and in his 23rd championship appearance, he makes it a 6-point game once again. It's 217 to 17 points. Great finish by Hart. Good score for Galway. Under pressure again at the other end, but that pressure is easily contained, and it's Joe Canning once again out into the middle of the field to Toohey, who's playing like a player who's played many more than just this one championship match. Hart again, used to be a half forward, looking for another one. That one goes wide.
Yeah, we've seen a bit of
Beat Clare, and they reach the All-Ireland semi-final. They had some 6 points to spare at the finish. And the final score here at Semple Stadium shows that Galway have won, and won convincingly. It's Galway 217, Clare 17 points.
There was a big breeze there, and in fairness, we were delighted with the way the first half went. And look, obviously, with the breeze, the second half was going to be a bit of a challenge. But in fairness, the lads, they dug deep, and I suppose the early goal in the second half really gave us the platform to push on. But look, the lads their work rate was just savage, and I'm just delighted for them.
We're very disappointed. We gave up 2 goals I wouldn't be happy about, to tell you the truth. Got one straight after half time, which put us 10 down, which is a killer. Like, you should never walk through the middle like that. That's why we have a sweeper, but we didn't get a chance to get him back quick enough. The first goal, it was a puck out down on top of Brendan Bugler and Joe Canning. That's a no. That should never have happened. 2 of them we blame ourselves for. But in saying that, the energy, the enthusiasm in Galway today was absolutely incredible. The way they tackled, the way they hassled. So whatever about ourselves, I have to say the passion they showed outside there today was first class. And from a Clare man, I'd like to say well done to them. I thought they did very well.
When we get defeats, we're our worst critics ourselves, and we're continuously trying to set high standards, and all we're trying to do is have a Galway team that's competitive, and a Galway team that the people can be proud of. And today the boys worked really hard, and just delighted with it.
Yeah, well done, Micheál. It was a great win for Galway. He seemed a bit emotional at the end, and of course Davy was a big week for Davy. It was great to see him there. What did you make of it as a game, Henry? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was probably one of the most enjoyable games we had in the championship this year. That's not saying much, to be honest. It's been a poor championship heretofore. I think the better team won. Galway scored 217. Clare had 2 scores outside. Colin Galvin got 5 points from play. David McInerney, their centre back, Tony Kelly got a point each. So the spread of scores, Galway had 8 scores, so by far and away they were the more attacking team, the more progressive team, and they worked a lot harder. And overall, I think Galway were the best team. I think Clare will probably not be that happy with their performance, but the better team definitely won.
It's been a frustrating year for Clare. I mean, Davy brought in Donal Logue, and there was criticism last year of Davy, etc. But they didn't set the championship alight, really, did they?
No, they didn't, and it's all going to come back to the system and the style of play. I mean, we'll touch on it later on, but I mean, they only play with 2 inside. The argument coming into the championship was that Shane O'Donnell was isolated during the league, and then Shanahan went in beside him, and it kind of looked a little bit like it might be a fix. But like today, certainly with the wind, not a massive goal threat along the line, a couple of chances here and there. But if you're really talking about pushing on and the bar with Kilkenny and Tipperary and the likes, you need to have that goal threat. And unfortunately, it didn't really work out for Clare today, and that's been the issue all through the championship for them.
All right, now speaking of goal threats, Davey made a reference there in the interview to, we didn't get a sweeper back in time, and you've picked out this bit of analysis. I found it quite extraordinary. Clare were caught at the start of the second half.
Yeah, I heard Davey doing it just after the match, and I was wondering what he was talking about, not having the sweeper back in setup. But as we can show, basically, Galway came back on the field just at 15 minutes, which is the allocated time for break. Clare waited another minute to come back, so they're slow coming in. As you can see, Brian Gabble just wants to get on with the game. You can see here it's like 3 school children in a yard pointing at players. You go there, you go there, you go there. It's left 2 Galway players free. They're all trying to work out where we're supposed to be working. For some reason, the ball bounces back to Brian Galvin's hand, so they get another chance to set up. But still, Brendan Bugler and Cian Dillon are pointing. You're supposed to be here. Oisin O'Brien is in the edge of the square, tying his laces. Cian Dillon is trying to come back. He's supposed to be the sweeper. He's supposed to be stopping this space in front of the goal, which Davey references. We should have someone back there. The ball proceeds to throw in. They're still all over the place. They don't know whether to go. Pat O'Connor doesn't know to go left or right and here full back. Galway cuts through, David Burke comes through the ball, and as I said, the defenders are just completely all over the place. And I go back to Brendan's point. We talk about systems, and systems is set up. You mark here, you mark there, you're playing him, you're marking him.